Hello, hello, and happy Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not going to pretend I'm here sitting at my desk recording this today. I'm not. I'm in Roma with my husband. It's his birthday today, so I'm away celebrating. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk to you about today. What I am here to talk to you about today is your personal brand on LinkedIn and why that's so important. And the biggest mistakes that most coaches, consultants, and service providers I meet are making as it relates to their personal brand on LinkedIn. So, first thing, why? Why do you need a personal brand? And the reason being is because if you don't have a personal brand on LinkedIn, then who are you? Why should people care who you are? What makes you different? Why should people want to work with you? There's so many reasons why. But the number one thing related to a brand and why it's important to build it is because your reputation can very often precede you. When you build a brand and you become known for something, well, then people can refer prospects to you. You can generate more leads, you can generate more sales, you can become seen as a go-to, the thought leader, you can increase your market share, you can increase your revenue. There's just so many perks and benefits. But so often people overlook it because what happens is they show up online, they're a little bit confused maybe about who your ideal clients are, what it is that your offer is, what your unique value proposition is, and then what is your message around all of that. Inside my programs, these are the things that I work with people on. Because if you're not clear on what your package is, what your offer is, who you're selling it to, well, then it's very freaking hard to talk about it. And on LinkedIn, what you want to do on LinkedIn is use LinkedIn as a platform so that you're creating familiarity with people. You're becoming memorable with people by showing up consistently and talking about the same thing repeatedly. And when you do that, what actually happens is you build trust because people start to see you, know you, and recognize you as the person who shows up and talks about this thing on the platform. And then they're like, oh, when they're thinking about a particular thing or a particular problem, you're the person that comes to their mind. So, how do you do that? You do it with a message, you do it with an identity, you do it with your tone of voice, you do it with the topics that you talk about. There are multiple different ways that you do it. But ultimately, one of the best ways and places to start is with your ideal client. So, who the fuck is that? Right? Now, on LinkedIn, LinkedIn makes it really easy for you to identify your ideal client's demographics because you can go in and you can search by who are the people you're going to connect with. You can search for people based on their specific demographics. So let's say if you're searching for a business coach, for example, if business coaches are your ideal clients, what you might do is go in and search by the title business coach. You might search by geography. You can search by industry. You can search by, let me see what else you can search by. There's so many different things you can search by. So geography, industry, and these are just on the free things that you can search for, right? So if I'm in on LinkedIn, I can search by groups. I can filter by the people who they're connected with currently. I would filter by second degree connections. So industry profile language I would add in there as well. And then service categories, coaching and mentoring. You can put in title, you could potentially put in title, you could put in the type of coaching that they might have. So that's how you can find them by their demographics. But the whole point of a brand strategy and niching is to help you identify and find people by their psychographics because demographics are facts and people won't decide to sign up and work with you or pay for your services just based on facts alone. People will make decisions to decide to work with you based on emotions and solving problems. If you don't talk about problems, there's no reason for people to do business with you. And if you think about, in the movie Taken, Liam Neeson is there and his daughter gets kidnapped. If his daughter isn't kidnapped, there's no fucking movie. Or Jason Bourne in The Bourne Identity. If he wakes up and he knows who he is, well, sure, then there's not this whole mystery about how he has these ninja assassin skills, right? So there has to be a problem. And for your business, you have to talk about your client's problem. If there's no problem, there's no reason for them to work with you. So it's really important that you talk about the problems. And the best way to get crystal clear on their problems is to narrow down who it is you're working with. Recently on the Master Your Business podcast, 2 weeks ago, I had the amazing Manuel Hartbauer. He does something similar to me in German, auf Deutsch. And what he does is he helps people with this as well. And it was so interesting talking to him because both of us have had a similar journey in terms of how we made our first 6 figures in business. We both use LinkedIn, one platform. We both identified one target audience. We both created one offer or package to sell. And we both created one message around all of those things. And so if you're somebody in your business who's struggling to get traction, who's struggling on LinkedIn, that's what you need to do. Stop trying to sell to everybody. Stop talking about surface level shit. Go deeper. I want you to think about, okay, this is the problem they have. Maybe it's a particular, let me just think of somebody, maybe it's a health coach who can't get clients. If you're a health coach and you're struggling to get clients, think about this. What is the health thing that you help people with? Maybe it's to lose weight. So if somebody wants to lose weight, why do they want to lose weight? So it's not just for health reasons. It's probably because of how they see themselves and the negative self-talk that they have. And maybe that means that they don't like to be in pictures or going out with their friends and doing things like that. And so it's talking to the deeper level as opposed to you want to lose weight. Everyone, like a lot of people want to lose weight. I want to lose weight right now. And after my few days in Rome, I'm definitely probably going to want to lose weight after all of the pizza and pasta. You can ask me next week. But the moral of the story is you need to go beyond the surface. So many people just stop at the surface level problem. What is that surface level problem costing them? What is the impact that that problem is having on their life, their business, their relationships, their wealth, the opportunities that they're creating for themselves or that are being created for them? How is it affecting their time? What is the deeper impact? And really delving into that. When you start to incorporate that into your message, when you start to ask people those types of questions on your DMs, well, then what happens is they're like, ooh, this person is an expert. They do know what they're talking about. They maybe can help me with this. So the why and the who are so important. And I know for me, this was where I'd struggled in December 2022 when I was totally broke. I was looking for my 9 to 5. This was where I was at. And the position I found myself in was I needed to go all in on who my niche was and what my offer was. And those were the 2 things that I had been really resistant to do. And I was resistant because I was afraid. I was afraid I was going to, push people away. People weren't going to be interested in working with me. But actually, the impact was the opposite. The narrower I focused and the more I delved into that, the stronger my business became and the clearer my message became. So some really common mistakes that people make are that they go too broad, thinking that they're not going to attract their ideal clients, but actually people want the expert, somebody who's really specific at solving this problem or working with this specific audience, as opposed to somebody who works with everybody. And if you think about this as well from a traction perspective, showing up on one platform and going all in is 100% worth it to help you get traction. Whereas if you try to be on 3 platforms or even 2, it's so much time and effort. And like, even if you don't have clients right now or you're building your business to multiple 6 figures, it takes a lot of time to go all in on a platform. And I think people underestimate that because a lot of people think that just posting content is enough for you to build that brand around you, but it's not. It's nowhere near enough. And if you're going to connect with your ideal clients, comment on their content, have conversations with them, and create your own content, you're going to be freaking busy. And so doing that all in on one platform is way easier than trying to do it on multiple. Okay, so here's what I want you to take away in terms of pillars of a killer brand strategy. Number 1, clarity. Get so freaking crystal clear on who your ideal clients are that you could talk about them for hours without needing any prompts because you know so much about them. When you do that, then create a crystal clear brand message that's all about those people. Once you've done that, then you can develop your marketing strategy so it attracts those people. And that could be creating a lead generator. Like last week, I talked about building your email list. It could be going live and talking to these people and building a relationship with them in that way. It could be anything, but basically, your whole marketing strategy should revolve around your ideal client. What you create should solve problems for your ideal client, and it should gently lead them on a journey towards working with you. The second thing is consistency is really important for a killer brand strategy. And as a pillar, why this is important is because if you deviate or pivot in your brand strategy, and I've learned this the hard way, what you end up actually doing is delaying your success. Every time you take a little slight deviation off of the path or off course, you're just delaying your success. So define your strategy, declare it, show up and stay consistent with that strategy. Because when you do, it'll make it so much easier to build those relationships with your ideal clients and prospects. And the third thing is fake it till you become it, as Amy Cuddy would say. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your brand. You've got to believe that you can really provide help for your ideal clients. You've got to believe that you can solve this problem. You've got to embrace your unique value proposition, your total uniqueness, your what makes you a unicorn. And you need to communicate that with conviction. Now, that's freaking hard, especially if you're afraid to stand out from the crowd or you're worried about your past clients, colleagues, friends, family, and about how they're going to judge you. But you know what? Fuck them. They're not going to pay your mortgage or your bills. They're not going to put the money in your bank. The people who you're talking to on the platform when you show up are your ideal clients who need your help. And the problems you talk about are absolutely going to resonate with them. They're going to be like, oh my God, how have I not heard about this before? And they're going to want to work with you. So, 3 steps. Number 1, clarity. Number 2, consistency. And number 3 is confidence. So, what I want you to do now is I want you to take action. I want you to experiment with this. I want you to, maybe if you're brave enough, declare under this live who your audience is, who's your niche. I want you to declare what you're selling. I want you to declare what your message is and why people should choose you, your unique value proposition. If you're not comfortable doing it under the DM, sorry, if you're not comfortable doing it in the comments under this live, send me a DM and tell me there. But this is exactly in Business Accelerator what people do. This is the very first step. You declare your niche, you declare your offer, and you declare your unique value proposition. And then I help you create your messaging around all of that. So it's epic because you can't set off on a journey and get amazing acceleration and traction if you keep deviating all of the time. You'll never get to your destination. I learned this the hard way, folks. That's why I'm sharing it with you today. So there you go. That is that is what I wanted to talk to you about today, about really the importance of being clear on who your ideal client is and how to build your personal brand on LinkedIn focused around your ideal client and doing it really intentionally for them. So if you have any questions, send me a DM and I look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same place. Bye for now.